It sounds like a broken record on our part, and I am certain there are plenty of viewers who will tilt their head and say something to the effect of, didn't you guys just talk about OPEC last week? The answer would be yes, we did. And the greater response would be, yes, we did, but we have to keep an eye on this group of oil bandits who are just waiting in the wings to jack up those gas prices again as soon as possible. With that caveat of fact behind us, welcome back the Newsmax Director of Financial Newsletters for the Daily Discourse, Bulls, Bears, Bucks, Jeff Yasteen. Jeff, how are you today?
Doing fine, Ed.
Here we go, buddy. Am I not really being very serious here when it comes down to this? People will say you guys talk about it all the time, but we have to, because now the OPEC Secretary General is calling the bottom of the market. Says the prices are $45.55. I think maybe they've reached bottom. We'll see some rebound very soon. Okay. Reality then, Jeff, from you. There's the laughter already. Is he
I'm laughing already.
Is he really just throwing this out there for no other reason than just to go ahead and throw a little fear into the market and pump up OPEC again?
Well, when I saw that news, the comment from this gentleman, al-Badri, my thought was, well, these are the same guys who didn't see this historic decline in prices coming, that which has happened in the last 3, 4, or 5 months. How can they predict a bottom with any regularity as well? Further, look at all that's been going on. We have a potentially historic blizzard hitting the Northeast, which ought to add to heating demand, which also has an impact theoretically on oil prices. You had that coup or attempted coup in Yemen last week. All these various efforts and situations going on around the world, which ought to impact oil prices. And yet oil can barely get out of its way from a price perspective. Oil today, like Texas crude here in the U.S., about $45 a barrel. That's near the lows. Brent crude, the international standards, that's around $49 a barrel. And that's right in the middle of the range. So to me, I would be betting on lower prices, not that this is some sort of bottom the way this gentleman from OPEC has.
Stay with us, everybody. Don't stick with OPEC, because they're just out there basically flailing themselves at this point, desperately trying to create some news. A few other things here. Greece has elected a far-left government. What does that mean then for American investors and American money?
Well, for now, it means really nothing. I mean, the worry going into all this was that it might create what the financial trader types called the Grexit, the Greek exit from the euro and the eurozone. But nobody really knows if that's going to happen. We've seen these sorts of worries arise, a few years ago when Greece had its last big crisis, and nobody really has a clear handle on whether that's really going to happen. In this situation, basically, we're going to see the Syriza party, this new coalition government, and the powers that be in the Eurozone and the European Central Bank, they're going to get together, they're going to talk, and they'll work out some sort of agreement. I don't really see this as being the be-all, end-all, and Greece somehow wholeheartedly exiting the Eurozone.
Here's a strange bedfellows in technology. Samsung constantly fighting with Apple now. According to a South Korean newspaper, Samsung will be the main supplier of processors for Apple's next iPhone. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense here, does it?
It shows you how in the technology world especially, there's a lot of sort of strange bedfellows going on here. As you mentioned, Samsung, they lost a big court battle. They've also lost a lot of market share in their smartphone lineup to the new iPhones that have been coming out from Apple. And yet Samsung also has a great deal of capacity in terms of their chip making, and they're also well recognized and well respected for the advances in their chip making, and as these chips and the circuits get smaller and smaller. And that appears to be what's going on with this report, which, by the way, hasn't really been confirmed from Apple. It's based on a report from a business newspaper in South Korea.
About 30, 40 seconds left here. Mattel's holiday sales fell 6% in the holiday quarter. Barbie's not selling well. Please tell me that everything's going to be okay, because if they ever stop making Hot Wheels, I don't know what myself and other collectors would be forced to do.
In this case, the problem is Mattel and the Barbie line, they're really losing a lot of market share with Barbie, and their arch competitor Hasbro is really moving in all the right directions, and they're eating their lunch. Mattel shares not just down today, they're down about 44% from year-ago levels.
All right, all I'm saying is I'm fine. I don't care about Barbies. Long as Hot Wheels keep rolling off the assembly line, I'm fine. Everything's good. Let's keep it there. All right. Let's also remind everybody that if you want to find out what's happening around the world, every day. Go to Newsmax.com. Do it several times throughout the day, because here you're going to get the real insight on the money news. Go to Newsmax.com, click on Money. That'll take you to the money news. That's where Jeff Yasteen and the rest of the team are as well. They'll keep you posted as the day goes on. And yes, I'm a collector. What can I say? All right, Jeff, thanks so much, buddy. We'll see you again this week.
Thanks, Ed.
Take care. While we cannot overestimate the impact of OPEC on our daily lives, there are those steadfast in their belief we daily overestimate the impact of ISIS in America. It's coming up next, right here on Midpoint.